check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. No. Come on, you mother... Okay, here we go. Check, 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 check. Alright, I think we're good. Yeah, sounds good to me. Okay. Sounds good to me. Hi, I'm Jack Honey. This is Jack Honey Gaming. This is Terror Tuesday. This is June 3rd. This is 2025. English. Okay. I have not. Today we're playing the Stanley Parable, which is not a horror game. Once again, this is the second Terror Tuesday in a row where I'm not playing a horror game. But again, like I said last time, it's my channel, I do what I want. And what I wanted was to play Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but I didn't have room on my PlayStation for it. And I did have this game on there because I've been meaning to play it, and now it's getting in the way of getting a Terror Tuesday game on here, so it's, in that way it's become a part of Terror Tuesday. And I hear it's a bit of a mind fuck, so in that sense maybe it'll work. You know, maybe it'll be close enough to horror. I don't know. We'll see. But here we are. That's cool. It shows up on the computer, and then the computer. Yeah, it's neat. Okay. I think there's like... I looked at the trophies. Some of them we're not going to get. Some of them we'll try to get. But there's a trophy, I think, for like adjusting all of the sliders to every number. I don't know if they mean like it has to be... Like I have to apply the sliders at every number, or if I just have to do what I'm doing right now and scrolling through them. So I mean, why not? We'll just try that, and if that doesn't work, then at some point, probably on my own time, I will adjust them so that I meet the requirements. But it doesn't look like just sliding them back and forth counts, because that's all the sliders, isn't it? Yeah, and that didn't work. Oh wait, but there's audio sliders too. We'll see. I mean, I'm sorry.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
But
of a man named Stanley.
I hope there's no copyright on the music. Usually I turn the music all the way down. I don't care today. So that didn't work, I guess. Oh well. If you probably have to like set it, like officially set it. That's crazy. That's such a grindy bullcrap trophy, but to my understanding, that's kind of what this game is about. It's just ridiculous crap. There's a trophy on here for playing for the entirety of a Tuesday, and there's a trophy on here for not playing this game for 10 years. and then presumably coming back to it. So that's what we're dealing with. A lot of the other ones I didn't even understand. One was just a bunch of 8s. Oh, we'll see. We'll see how it works. Never, the end is never, the end is never the end.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, I gotta crouch. Seems that's all I've got. Oh!
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed. Then days. Had years gone by?
What?
He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Well, that sucked. I guess I gotta get out of here, right?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy?
Yeah, I am.
Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks? Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
I've almost certainly clicked 50 times already.
No. I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter the cost.
Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417? Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
I'm sorry, guys. I remember the trophy saying click door 435 times. I didn't know it was gonna be.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
This guy's a dick.
Now, back to door number 437. Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
Where's the copy machine? This copy machine?
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
I'm never looking at trophy lists before playing a game ever again. This has changed the way I will conduct myself.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
How do I do that? I'm learning so much.
Yes, this is great. You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
Okay.
We've almost got it. Now the copy machine, do that one again.
Okay.
Finish it off, Stanley. 5 clicks on door 430. Yes! We did it!
We got it.
Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley.
I
Nothing
also got
could
to
hold
get
you
your first
back.
trophy
Yes, I'm very
trophy.
proud of how far we've come today.
Nice. Cool. Sweet. I like work. I just hate my boss. Alright, anyway, back to the game. No? Can I go in any of these doors?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Damn it.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Let a ball up inside you, take out passive-aggressively on other coworkers, resent coworkers for not supporting you. Alright. What is that? Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Everyone's unique, you most of all. This is amusing. Broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
That means fuck all. For those of you not in the know.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why?
It's just to
Please
mess
offer me
with
some
the narrator.
explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I just thought it looked like the place to be.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
This is hilarious. Alright, let's see if he says one more
Stanley was fat
thing.
and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed in front of your screen. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway. Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
Oh, that's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, it's very red down here, which messes with the green screen.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet?
I saw that in the closet.
Why did doors close automatically behind him
Yeah, that's a
wherever he
little
went?
bothersome.
And
Except
for
for this
that
one.
matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply
Indeed.
repeating? No,
Yes.
Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. "I'm dreaming!" he yelled. "This is all a dream." Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
This just found its place in Terror Tuesday.
Stanley began screaming.
This is totally fine now.
Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Whoa.